Democrats say MAGA is a threat from within. But Bill Clinton says Republicans use fear to win. Yesterday on CNN, humidor expert Bill Clinton discussed the Democrats' midterm chances. I wonder if the Republicans always close well. Why?
The Republicans always close well. Why? Because they find some new way to scare the living daylights out of swing voters about something. That's what they did in 2021, where they made critical race theory sound worse than smallpox.
Well, it is. So he claims Republicans win by scaring voters, which is pretty hypocritical considering he scared Epstein to death. And really, And you want fear stoking? What about weeks of January 6 hearings designed to portray Trump voters as terrorists? And what of Joe's horrific speech filmed in front of Dracula's castle? That speech was so scary, Joe would have crapped his pants had he been listening. What of climate change, abortion, guns, everything the Dems talk about is stoked with fear, except, of course, crime. Then it's who cares, I got private security. But it worked. Biden smeared MAGA Republicans as threats to democracy so effectively, one pollster says they'll be harder to poll. Quote, I call this new group submerged voters. They aren't putting stickers on their cars, signs in their yards, posting their opinions, or even answering polls. Biden's attacks on MAGA Republicans has created an army of voters who will be virtually impossible to poll and more difficult still to estimate. So, it looks like it's the Republicans, not the Dems, who are scared for their safety. But how scary do the Dems think Republicans really are? It's like they're living in a horror movie.
They came from beyond the grave, from beyond space, from beyond Florida. Night of the Living Conservatives. Driven by an evil force called the Constitution. Obsessed with guns. God, getting up and going to work. They could be anywhere. At your job. At your school board meeting. At that vegan coffee shop where the service is bad, but the waitstaff is diverse and there's a homeless man living in the gender-neutral bathroom. Well, probably not there. Shambling, reanimated corpses. Yeah, not that one. Undead, unmasked, feasting on human brains. So if you're a Democrat, don't worry. Yet. Night of the Living Conservatives. Rated R for Republican.
Kat, I just had a mild epiphany. I'd like to share it with you. Would you like to hear it?
Yeah, sure.
Both sides tend to use fear as a persuasion tool because it's the most effective one. Republicans do it, and they have legitimate fears about crime, and Democrats do it. It's always about racism. Maybe that's why the libertarians fail. They never use fear as a weapon. Maybe they should. What do you think?
I mean, I'm pretty afraid.
Yeah. What are you afraid of?
What am I not afraid of?
Yeah.
Yeah, and something really bad could happen at any moment.
That's
Worst
true.
things, you don't have any warning.
Mm-hmm, that's true.
Pretty damn depressing.
Now tie that into the segment.
Okay, well, I don't know. I don't know how much time we had here. Okay, I think also that it's not just about the things that Biden says about Trump supporters. It's also, if you look at what's been in the news, you know, the FBI treating parents who, you know, have concerns about the school board and what kids are teaching in school as domestic terrorists. People who have any sort of appreciation for, you know, American Revolution symbols are violent extremists.
Yeah.
I think it's past the point of people being concerned about if I say I support Trump, what people think. And now it's like, if I say I'm a conservative, what might they do?
Yeah.
So I think that's where more of the concern comes from.
Terrence, this is a very good point that the young lady just made after relentless prodding on my behalf. Isn't it funny? It's the MAGA Republicans that actually have to be scared because they're the ones being branded as dangerous.
You know what? It's crazy because I'm MAGA. I'm MAGA, okay?
Yeah.
They call him, I'm MAGA.
Are you MAGA?
Yeah, I'm MAGA,
Are
baby.
you MAGA?
Yeah. Little MAGA over here. But
I
it's
think he's
crazy.
MAGA.
They are calling me a threat. A MAGA threat. I am 5'4", and I weigh 120 pounds. And I'm a threat. I am scared to play football. I am not a threat. This is crazy, okay? This is crazy. But the Republicans do not have to scare people because the Democrats are scaring the hell out of people with this high inflation, with these high gas prices, scaring people with the IRS.
Yeah.
They coming after people for $600.
Yes.
With pistols.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is crazy, Steve.
crazy.
It is crazy. And you know what? I think he's absolutely right. I mean, what is more scary today than a gallon of milk that costs more than a gallon of gas?
I like that because I
Right.
hate milk.
You're lactose
Disgusting.
intolerant.
It's mucus. Let's be honest. It's cattle mucus.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that scare me more than milk.
No, milk.
I like milk. I'm still trying to grow. I need my vitamin D.
Crime. You don't have to scare people. You just have to show what's happening.
Absolutely. Whether it's crime or the border or inflation, you know, Bill Clinton is talking about essentially Republicans are going to do it. But ultimately, what you really know is that Democrats are haunted by the idea of a red wave.
Yeah.
Whereas Bill Clinton is haunted by the idea of a blue dress.
Last word to you.
I'm scary.
You are scary.
Yeah, I'll whoop your ass.
I know you will.
But here's the difference, though. This is real fear, and that's first world fear. MAGA's first world fear. The Dems live in the first world.
Yeah.
They want us worrying about pronouns and stuff, and Republicans live down on the ground, boots on the ground. They worry about inflation, education, crime. So they're in real, tangible stuff that, and here's I hate to tell you this, Mr. Clinton, they are afraid. Americans are afraid. They see what's happening in our school systems, in our neighborhoods, in our cities, and on our bank accounts. So that's a real fear. So the only thing that you hope is the Republicans actually do something about it when they get in there.
Yeah.
Because nothing's worse than telling us we recognize your fears and not doing. At least you give it to Democrats. They live in space, so it doesn't matter if they do anything or not.
Yeah, it's true. Right. It's true. You never expect anything from them. All right.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.